Hello, everyone. This is Catherine Toon, author, prophetic speaker, and coach of CatherineToon.com. And I wanted to minister to you today about one of my very favorite scriptures. One of my happiest things in the world, in the spirit realm as well, is the turf it to Jesus aspect of our relationship with Christ. You know, God said He wants to do all the heavy lifting. And you know what? In this world, there is a lot of heavy, right? He said, "Take my yoke upon me and learn of me, for I'm gentle, meek, and lowly of heart, and I will give you rest, ease, refreshment, recreation, and blessed quiet for your souls." And boy, do we need all that. We need God to do the heavy lifting. As a matter of fact, Jesus said, "Apart from me, you can do nothing." So you ready for one of my very favorite scriptures? Okay, Philippians 2:13, and I love this in the Amplified Classic Version. It says, "For it is all the while that God is effectually at work in you, energizing and creating in you the power and desire to will and to work for His good pleasure, satisfaction, and delight." So what does that mean? That means that God always, all the time, works in us effectually. That means effectively. He is effective. God is at work. His Spirit is at work constantly, conforming us to the image of Christ, releasing grace into the areas that we're needing grace, all those different things, empowering us. And He's good at His job. He's effectual at His job. He energizes and creates in us the power and desire. Guess where your energy comes from? Guess where your motivation comes from? It comes from God. God is the capital S source. He energizes and creates. You know, when there is nothing, when you got a nothing, when you got a nada, when you are running on fumes, He's there to create and empower and energize in you the power and desire. You know what? How many of you know there's something good that you need to be doing, but you just don't, I don't want to do it. Don't want to do it. Don't want to do it, right? He can energize and create that power and desire. The actual desire for something good, desire for something that you just don't want to do. And you know what? A lot of times you may not be willing to do something, but you know what? You can be willing to be made willing. Okay, God, I don't want to do it. Don't want to do it. Don't want to not do it. Right? But you can be willing, but I'm willing to be willing to do it. Or I'm willing to be willing not to do it. Or maybe I'm willing to be willing not to do it or to do it. Okay? So God will meet you exactly where you're at. He's the master. It is a master Jesus turf move, and it is brilliant. He's willing to create in you the power and desire to will and to work for His good pleasure, satisfaction, and delight. You know, when I first read that, I wasn't quite so sure that I was excited about His good pleasure, satisfaction, and delight. I mean, let's just be a little authentic for the moment. Sometimes I'm just really not excited about His good pleasure, satisfaction, and delight. I am really concerned about my good pleasure, satisfaction, and delight. But you know what? I realized something, that God is love. And you know what? In that place of love, His good pleasure, satisfaction, and delight is always breathtaking. You know what? His idea of what's a good idea is better than my idea and your idea of what's a good idea. His good pleasure, satisfaction, and delight is so pleasurable, is so satisfying, is so delightful. He is the God of pleasure. When He created humankind in the Garden of Eden, it's the Garden of Delight. God is a God of pleasure. He's a God of joy. Pleasure is His idea. But He wants pleasure to have no downside. He wants pleasure to have no hangover. He wants pleasure to have no bad consequence. He wants pleasure to have no gaining weight around the hips or in the gut. There's no downside to the pleasure of God. So I just want to encourage you today, every place where you're struggling, do the Master Jesus turf. Turf it to Jesus. Why? He gets to do the heavy lifting. He's the one who's really brilliant about what you need to be after and helping you get there from here. Yeah? So take his yoke upon you, turf it to Jesus, and allow him to do something brilliant in you. Allow him to do something brilliant through you. And you'll find the pleasure, satisfaction, delight is more awesome than you could have ever imagined. So anyway, I just want to wish you a fabulous day. Continue turfing all the heavy lifting to Jesus, and you'll be amazed at what's going to happen in your life. So go to my website, catherinetoon.com, for more goodies. Check out my book, Marked by Love. Get your personal copy. You can reserve that coming out in the spring of 2017. Get your ebook download, your free chapter download. Sign up for my love lines. These are saving lines. When God throws out to you the lifeline, the love line of who he is, he's able to do something amazing in your life. And I look forward to talking to you soon.